Hey guys, I'm Desikan, and in this video we're going to be talking about some makeup dupes. I don't really have like a full face of makeup dupes, but I have some really good ones. So yeah, let's get started. Every single time I make these dupes videos, a lot of comments are like, nothing can beat the original product. There's might as well just save some money and buy the original product and all of that. I feel like these dupes videos, I make it particularly for people who don't really want to spend a lot of money on makeup. It's not just about affordability, sometimes it's just preferences. And yeah, sometimes it is about affordability as well, which is very subjective. Affordable products don't always mean that they're bad in terms of performance. So if in case you have the urge to leave these comments, I would say please refrain from that, because it is easy to comment like that. But when you are a content creator, you have to think about everything, every aspect, different things that people might consider. So I do try to make dupes videos with the performance of the product that is very, very similar to the high-end one, and sometimes, some things that I feel like are even better than that. So yeah, let's get started. So the first one we're going to be talking about is a primer. This one is the Bobbi Brown Vitamin Enriched Face Base. I was looking for a dupe for this one for the longest time. I own this for about 2 to 3 years now. I wouldn't recommend getting the full size of this, because something happens to the full size, like all the creaminess of this evaporates literally, and you're left with some kind of like greasy yellow looking fluid in the tub. So just get the travel size of it if it is not something you're going to be using on a daily basis, and if you're someone who wouldn't empty it out really fast. The expiry date of these Bobbi Brown products are like to the dot, and sometimes you have to empty it really, really fast. You don't really have a long shelf life. So with that being said, I really like this primer. It's very moisturizing, it's very hydrating on the skin. It has a very citrusy scent. So if you're someone who stays away from fragrance, this has a very strong lingering citrus scent to it, but it's a very nice hydrating primer. It has shea butter, vitamin C and E in it, and this is a very raved after product worldwide. So a close dupe is of course from a brand that loves to dupe products. This one is the Revolution Super Base Vitamin Base Primer. The thickness of this one, the consistency of this one is slightly more thicker than the Bobbi Brown primer itself, but the finish and everything that it leaves on the skin is very similar. I feel like the Bobbi Brown one is a tad bit more hydrating. I'm not going to deny that. Just because I found a dupe, I'm not going to say that this is way better. This is of course good, but it also comes with a hefty price point. So if you wanted to try an alternative, like an affordable alternative, you can definitely try this out. I really like the packaging. It's nice and secure. It doesn't have that citrus scent to it. It has a mild floral scent to it. Nothing that is too overpowering, but it does the job really well. It doesn't have that much of a glowy finish like the Bobbi Brown one has, but it's really, really good. It's very close. And this one, I could like get it for 450 rupees or something like that. And even the ingredients of this one is pretty good. So you can definitely try this one out. It is a really, really nice primer. And then now coming to the MAC Strobe Cream. I still till date get a lot of questions about the closest dupe to the MAC Strobe Cream. So I did a video a couple of years ago, I think up to at least 2 to 3 years ago. So busting some dupe myths, comparing all the dupes that are available in the market. So in that video, I did mention the Sugar one and the Ikai one to be the closest dupe. But right now I have a dupe that is like exactly like this one. In fact, I feel like it's sometimes even better. This one is the Aqualogica Illuminate Plus Lush Strobe Cream. This one is the Golden Glow variant. It comes in this purple packaging like this one. I mean, now the moment a lot of people hear this brand, the Onasa brands like Aqualogica, Mama, you would want to like avoid trying this product out. But trust me on this one, this is the closest I could get to the MAC Strobe Cream, and I really like the finish of this one. Like however moisturizing the Strobe Cream is, I feel like this one is just as good, or in fact a little bit more moisturizing than the Strobe Cream itself. It has that same golden glow. The shimmer particles in this one is so finely milled that you can't really see it when you apply it on this on your skin, and it's not like large chunky shimmer particles, not glitter particles. It is super fine, and it's also very well spread out. And that's the reason I'm mentioning that this is the closest you could get to the MAC Strobe Cream. I will try to it's very hard to capture these strobe creams on camera, like the sheen that they have, like the golden shift. So this is the MAC Strobe Cream. This is how it looks like. It has that subtle radiance. Let me swatch the Aqualogica one as well. They have another variant like the pink one. I think that's called Radiance one, Radiance Plus or something. That is pretty good, but it's very thick. Okay, it's very thick. It's like a moisturizer, a thick moisturizer with subtle shimmer particles to it. But this, I feel like this purple one is the closest. Like, I'm just blending it. You can see it has that moisturization. You can see that it has that emollients to it. And a lot of times I've found Strobe creams to have just shimmer. I feel like it doesn't have that creaminess to it, that moisturization that it can offer to your skin. It doesn't have that. A lot of the times, all of that is gone from your face and it's just shimmer all over. So what it does is it clings onto your skin differently. It just dries your skin out in that process. But it doesn't happen with this one. So this is the MAC Strobe Cream and this is the Aqualogica one, and I feel like you can see it's like really close. Maybe the MAC Strobe Cream is a little bit more intense, but I don't really mind the effect of this one for a fraction of the cost. And the MAC Strobe Cream, you do get a travel variant of that, but you just get it in pink glow. But this one in golden glow is something a lot of you guys always ask me for, so definitely look into the Aqualogica one. I have done a sponsored shots with them because I did happen to really like the product. This one is a tad bit more subtle than the MAC Strobe Cream, but it is pretty good, pretty close, pretty up there. Maybe you can add a little bit more product and build on it as well, and it's something you can use on a daily basis, and it wouldn't look like a lot of shimmer on your face. And then we have the MAC Cream to Powder foundation. What is that called? This has like a creamy matte kind of a finish on your skin. It's not something that is transfer proof, but it goes on really easily. You can apply it with a sponge, you can apply it with a brush. A little bit of it gives you light medium coverage. You have to build on it quite a bit, but it's a very natural looking product, a very easy product to use on day-to-day basis. I have this one in the shade NC35. It's what I have on my face right now. I feel like it's a pretty good match for me in this particular range. I did try out the NC35 in the all over face pen, but I didn't really like that shade. It was really pale, very white looking, but this one is a pretty good match. So I recently saw that Sugar came out with the same thing, Sugar Metal Cream to Powder Foundation. It is in this particular packaging, like the Huda Beauty Tantour, and this is what the shade looks like. I thought this would be a pretty good match for me. This is 40 Brave. Okay, but this just is so yellow. It looks like I've applied a lot of turmeric on my face. But what did really impress me about this particular product is that it has a lot of pigmentation. A little goes a long way. So if you do happen to get your shade match right, it will look good. But it's a very pigmented product. It blends seamless. It's not something that looks extremely powdery on the skin. So it is quite similar. I feel like it is in fact something that offers a little more coverage than the MAC Cream to Powder foundation itself. With that being said, I feel like this one looks a tad bit more natural on the skin than this one does. But if you apply it the right way and you have the right shade match, I think you wouldn't be disappointed with this. So in this you get 12 grams of product, and in the MAC one you get 10 grams of product. So this is again quite affordable compared to the MAC one, and if you get your right shade match, you can definitely try it out. Is it similar to their stick foundation? Is it like the stick foundation in this form? Maybe yes. I do feel like it is a little bit similar, because one of their stick foundations is one of my favorite, but I feel like that doesn't really work for people with, you know, texture, acne. Especially if you have texture and acne, I'm not sure like if you would like this one on its own. So in that case, you can try out the MAC Cream to Powder finish, but this is very similar, and it's also not transfer proof. It doesn't have that much of that powdery finish on the skin. And then a concealer. Okay, this one is the Clinique Even Better All Over Concealer Eraser. So this one, I find it to be a pretty good product for everyday purpose, especially if you don't really have a lot of dark circles. But my problem with this one is that it is not long lasting at all. You can see this side is where I've applied it. It just fades away in a whiff from the inner corner of my eye, and that is my problem with most concealers, high-end or affordable. There are just few concealers that are very long wearing for my under eye area. So this is not one of that, certainly. It does have an applicator here, which I didn't even know until I watched another video. So I have this one in the shade Toasted Wheat, which is a pretty good match for me, like a perfect match for my skin tone. And I feel like the undertone is a little different. Like it does pull a little bit peachy, but it works really well for my under eye area. So I feel like the dupe for this one is a little bit better than this product itself. This one is a K-Beauty concealer. Now this was not my favorite concealer. I feel like it was not long lasting enough for me, and the coverage was not great, but it is a good dupe for this one. It is a lot more long lasting than the Clinique concealer. It's what I have on this side of my under eye area, which does look like it is fading away, but not as much. Let me just fix this situation. But it's not fading as much as this side. So yeah, it's not exaggerating any lines or anything underneath my eyes, but it's not the most long wearing, and they don't really look very nice if you have very dry skin. I am not someone who has a lot of darkness or lines or wrinkles underneath my eyes, so it's okay for me. But if you have a lot of lines, wrinkles, if you're someone of a mature skin type or you have very dry skin, I think you can pretty much avoid both of these concealers. But if you are looking for a dupe for the Clinique one, because I've seen a lot of people talk about this, then you can just stick to the Key Beauty concealer. And then now moving on to a blush. So this one is the Pixie On the Glow blush. This one is a very popular stick blush. This was all the rage everywhere. It was very popular. It was sold out most of the times. I got this one in the shade Ruby, but it doesn't seem as much of like a ruby kind of a shade. It does pull a little bit more pink. Now I find this to be an okay product. It's not great for the price point. It's not something that's very pigmented. It's not very long lasting. So I have something that is like a fraction, less than a fraction of this cost and less than half the price, in fact. And it's a very nice stick blush. This one is from Blue Heaven. This one is their Kiss and Blush cheek tint. This one is in the shade Rosy Dusk, and I feel like this has way better pigmentation, way better lasting power, and it just looks a lot better on the face. And you have a pretty decent shade range as well. It doesn't look like something that is this affordable. Like sometimes you expect affordable makeup, just, you know, it's there in your head, it's a mind block. You just expect affordable makeup to perform badly, but it's not that kind of product. It looks very expensive on the face. It's what I have on this side. I really like it. I feel like this side is more long lasting than this. So yeah, if you were like going to pick this up and you know, you saved up some money to pick this up, or you're just going to buy it because of all the hype, I'm here maybe to help you save and pick this up. It's a pretty good product. Like the shade is a little different. This one is a little bit more red, the Pixie one, but on the face you can't really see the red as much. And then a bronzer. This one is a Rare Beauty bronzer. This is a really nice bronzer stick. I'm not denying that. This one is in the shade Always Sunny. It's a really nice blendable bronzer. It's something you can use underneath your makeup, like if you are doing like an underpainting sort of thing, and apply it a little bit more intensely, or on top of like a fully finished base makeup. And this blends really well, but it's again very, very pricey, especially Rare Beauty in India. I feel like it is so pricey, even after I could get this one on a discount. So you get 7 grams of product. I'm not sure if these products are still available, but the ITEX Dazzler foundation stick, this one is in the shade Dusky FS2. These are one of the best contour bronzer sticks I have tried out from the Indian market. Now, I know a lot of you guys are like, I can't believe you're comparing this product to a Rare Beauty product that is raved after worldwide. But I think that's the point of this video, and that's the point of my channel even. It doesn't have to be raved after all over the world. If I like it and I think it is a pretty good product, it works really well for the price, I think I'm going to be mentioning it. I have used this for the longest time, almost 2 years now, and I haven't had any like adverse reaction, and it is an Indian brand. So that's what we're here to do, promote products that are made in India. So I'm not sure if this is still available. The undertone of this one is a little bit more on like the red orange side, so it does pull a little bit like that, and it is a tad bit stiffer, the formulation, but nothing that is too hard to blend, nothing that is skipping on your face, nothing that is blotchy. So it is literally like less than half, quarter the price of the Rare Beauty one, and it is a really good stick bronzer stick contour product. So you can also try out the shade Contour FS2 if you wanted something a little bit more cool toned, and if you have a deeper skin tone. So these are products that I have always recommended, and it's not something I just recommend on my videos and not use it ever in my personal life again. So many times when I had to get ready for events or something like that, very really good events, I have used these products, and they don't look bad, they don't really look cheap, they look really nice, they blend beautifully. So why not try it out? And then highlighter. Again, highlighter, I have the Rare Beauty liquid highlighter. I like this. It's very subtle, it's very natural looking. It's not something that is too wet looking, not something that is too dry on your face. There are some highlighters that dry up literally on your face and all you can see is just shimmer. This does dry quite fast, but it is not something that is not blendable. It's not something you can't work with. And this is a little too like yellow gold for my liking. I'm not sure which shade would match my skin tone. I think I should have tried out the shade Mesmerize, but nonetheless, I did really like this. I'm glad I picked it up. It is what I have on this side. It's actually a little bit subtle, so you have to use a little bit more product to get it to show up on your face. And it's not something that looks extremely wet looking or like glowy. And for that, I have a dupe, and this dupe of mine is my absolute favorite, and I have recommended this in so many videos. And even now, if you ask me, I feel like it's better than the Rare Beauty one. This is the Nykaa Strobe and Glow liquid highlighter. It's what I have on this side on my face. You cannot see like very big chunky shimmer particles in this one. It's not stark. It's not something that just peeps away from the makeup. Like right now, you can't even see that shimmer. It's just like a wet sheen, like a balm highlighter, you know. It looks beautiful. It looks very nice. You can use a very tiny amount of this and get this glow. Like it looks like it just gels with your makeup. It looks like that very editorial, very you know, the current trend of highlighters, where it's not like the powdery highlighter. It's not something that sticks on your skin differently, not something that emphasizes the texture, not something that looks dry, and it's not very beaming as well. So it just blends in with the makeup so well. So this is something I would recommend over the Rare Beauty highlighter if you wanted a really affordable option and you are asking my personal opinion on this. Now, if you wanted to try out the Rare Beauty one, by all means, please do so. I'm not someone to stop you from that, but this is my favorite liquid cream highlighter of all time. I've recommended this in so many videos for a reason. I had this for the longest time and I never used it as much, and now I cannot put this down. Every single time I feel like, you know, I need a little bit of glow and I don't want it to look too much. This is the one I reach out for. You can also blend it with your blush and, you know, get that dewy blush look and all of that. I wouldn't recommend applying these liquid highlighters all over your face because I feel that looks a little too much. And then for setting powder, I have the Laura Mercier setting powder on this side. I like it. I find it to be a pretty good loose powder, but I don't really like it as much as my Huda Beauty Easy Bake one. I feel like that works really well if you have dry skin, dry under eye area. This one can be a little bit drying if you have very dry skin, but it is a pretty good loose powder and it is raved after for a reason. And Laura Mercier is now available in India, so you can pick it up. You can find it on Tira, you can find it on Parco's website. And the closest I could get to this one is a translucent powder, but this one is the K-Beauty HD setting powder. This one is in the shade Banana, but that is said to be banana, but it looks very similar to like the Laura Mercier one. And when I made that K-Beauty best and worst shots, I did mention that this is not my favorite. I feel like it doesn't really work for people with very dry skin, and I still stick to that. If you have very dry skin, I think you should try out the Huda Beauty Easy Bake setting powder because that works like no other loose powder. But this is pretty good if you have sort of like normal combination oily skin type, and it actually does keep your makeup in place. So if you're someone who sweats a lot, if you are someone who has very oily skin, and also you're living in a humid climate, so you want your makeup to stay in place no matter what and not that sweat seep through, this powder is pretty good for that because it's what I have set this side. And I feel like somehow this one, the place where I set the Laura Mercier one, is also letting like the sweat seep through, the dewiness to appear, but this one is just holding it in place really well. So this is a really good loose powder for that purpose, and especially if you have anything other than like very dry skin. And then of course a mascara. So I have been talking about this mascara for so long that I had to compare them side by side. This one is the Huda Beauty Legit Lashes Mascara. This is my favorite mascara, okay? If you wanted a mascara to give you good length, volume, without you having to use false lashes, and if you're not someone with naturally long, voluminous lashes, you should try this out. It's what I have on this side. I really like it. It's not waterproof. And so the one mascara that I feel like is very similar to this is the Swiss Beauty mascara. This one is the Craze line, okay? This is exclusive to purple.com. That's where you can find this. This has a lengthening side and a volumizing side, and it adds the same amount of length and volume, and it's pretty black, just like the Huda Beauty one. I feel like it's slightly even better than the Huda Beauty mascara because it's not wet. It's not something that's clumping up. It's not something that's caking up as well. So it's a really, really nice mascara if you wanted to try it out. Both of these are not waterproof, so just keep that in mind. For the longest time, a lot of you kept asking me for a dupe for the MAC Prep and Prime Fix Plus. I find the nozzle of this one not good enough for me. So this is a pretty good priming mist in my opinion, like before you want to use all of your makeup products. Mine's the nozzle. So the closest one, this was something I got on a subscriber's recommendation. This is the PAC Instant Fixation Prep and Prime Fixing Mist. It's very similar to the MAC one. I feel like it's also quite hydrating and it does disperse the product really well. The nozzle of this one is really good. It doesn't leave droplets on your face. So a really nice affordable option. So the last one is something that a lot of you guys always keep asking me. So this one is the MAC Powder Kiss Liquid Lipstick. I love the this range of MAC liquid lipsticks. I feel like they're so nice. They're blurring on the lips. They look really nice and like they don't really exaggerate a lot of things. So if you wanted this is the shade Fashion Sweetie, but I'm just talking about the formulation in general. If you wanted a similar formulation, you can try this Rom and lip tint. This one is the Zero Velvet tint, and this is in the shade Villain West, I guess. I'm not very sure what this is. Yeah, this is called Villain West. Okay, it looks a lot deeper and intimidating, but on the lips they are exactly similar shades. So the formulation is also very similar and they leave a beautiful tint behind the Romand ones. So you can definitely try this out. It is very affordable. It is quite affordable, not very affordable, and you can always find it on discount on the Tira website. So yeah, another one is a lip balm. So this one is the Aqualogica lip balm. I feel like this is a great alternative for my Laneige Glowy lip balm. I have not found a lip balm that I have liked in a long time, and I like this one. This is a tinted lip balm. They do have other tints, but those are not very predominant. This one is in the variant Crimson Candy. I like this one so much. It's something I use on a daily basis. It doesn't dry my lips out. It looks really nice and plump. So yeah, that's pretty much everything I wanted to talk to you guys about. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and found it helpful. So make sure to give this video a big thumbs up and also subscribe to my channel and hit that notification bell so that you're notified every time I upload a new video. And I'll see you in the next one.